today's class is going to be writing for the web. We're going to talk about how to make a website speak to your audience so they can hear and they make an informed purchase. We're going to take all of this marketing material, the language that we're creating here, and that's going to be put in the website in a certain specific sequence so that when they come to your website, I'm going to read this. Okay, there's my notes here. There's a difference between content and copywriting. Okay, you might have heard the phrase "content is king." Okay, but I'd have to say that copy is king. Content might be queen, but copy is the king. Okay, now the difference between content and copywriting. Okay. Content, right, is like an article about something or a how-to. It's something useful, but it's not designed to help the client make an informed decision about a call to action. It's how to fix when your window roller downer on the car door breaks. It's like how to take the panel off, how to fix put it back on the little trolley thing, and that way your window can go up and down when you roll it like this, and how to put the panel back on your car, right? But it's not how to make an informed decision on a purchase. It's a how-to, or an article, an opinion article about anything, right? That's content. Okay. Marketing copy, on the other hand, helps your visitor make a decision to make a change that they would not otherwise be able to make. Okay. So marketing copy is the ability to get a person's attention, educate them, and direct them into making a decision to make the change that they wouldn't ordinarily be able to make on their own. So you're assisting them in understanding a purposeful decision and a call to action. Does everybody get that? Content is some stuff you can have on your website that's useful information, but marketing copy gets the attention, directs the attention, educates them, helps them make an informed decision on how to change or improve their life in a way that they wouldn't be able to do so by themselves. So for a web page, if you don't have these 5 essential elements in the web page, you're not going to get results. Definitely not going to get results of sales or responsiveness. So there's 5 essential elements of a web page that sells. And I suggest everybody take notes here, because I'm going to go over the 5 essential elements of a web page that sells. Thank God it's not 47. Right? It's 5 essential elements of a web page that sells. Okay. The first element, pass the 3-second test. It used to be 7 seconds that you had before a person clicked again, but that was almost 20 years ago. Now we have mobile devices and higher bandwidth, and it's come down to about 3 seconds they're going to wait before they hit the button again. They like this rhythm. It doesn't move on 3-second moves. Even to scroll up, right? Past the 3-second test is the first element. Okay. This has to do with your visual branding, which is your color scheme, your logo, your headlines, your font style. Thereabouts. And it could be your graphics. People, they're going to hook onto the graphics, pictures. So it's the visual element and the immediate first impression. It's got to pass that 3-second test. So as soon as the page loads, they got to be like, oh, yeah. So then what's the next one? Number 2. What is it? What is it? Write it down. Number 2. What is it? That wasn't a question. That is number 2. What is it? Okay, looks good. What am I here? Oh, what is it? Now this has to do with the opportunity to have the ultimate end result. We'll get it. The desired outcome comes in the next section, but the ultimate end result up here: time, freedom, financial independence. Yeah. 3-step course for financial independence. Financial independence in 3 easy steps. What is it? Like, oh, looks good. Financial independence in 3 easy steps. Like somebody who's smiling. Doesn't wear a briefcase. Okay. Notebook on the beach. Okay. Work from anywhere in the world with a 7-figure income from any beach on the planet. Okay. That's what it is. Okay. Number 3, why should I care? Or what's in it for me? This is where you get into the ultimate end result and some of the benefits it gets for that. Or actually, yeah, this is the benefits. The desired outcome. Now,
It's desired outcome?
Yeah, it's desired outcome. It's still in benefit mode. You're still hitting them emotionally. These first 3 steps, you can start all emotion. You have to be communicating with the child inside. It's got to look fun. It's got to look like that's what they want. They got to identify with it, right? So that's how you know your client. You know what to put there. They love, if it's pizza lovers, then you put a picture of the pizza on the page. If your marketing says pizza lovers, you know, some solutions for people that don't have pizza. Then they come to the web page and it's like, there's a picture of a pizza and says, 15-minute delivery or whatever it is. There's a calibration between your client and what's on the page, their desired outcome, what they want. That's going to happen in these first 3 stages. All emotional, all desire-based, okay? Shortage-based, wanting to fill that void. The next one, number 4, is tell me more. And this is where you get into the details and you start convincing the logical mind that their emotions are validated. So this is where you get into your ultimate end result and the details, the features, and even, pretty much. So the next one, number 5, should I buy? And this is where you bring in your testimonials, the other people, that's your social proof. The details, the specifics, the steps of the stages, right? And your bonuses, right? The bonuses. They look like you throw in some bonuses, then they're gonna know there's even more value. And the call to action. Okay, structure your web page like this. You could have one web page. You don't need anything else. Structure your web page like this. You can have more traction than somebody with a kitchen sink website that's got all this menu and all this navigation, all the distractions. They don't know what to do, so they start clicking around, but soon they get bored and they go somewhere else. You have one page that's set up like this. You're going to get more results than all kinds of bells and whistles and smoke and mirrors and distractions. It's like this. Get to the point. These 5 essential elements, which is what we've been vetting out for these first 2 months. We're going to take all this stuff, we're going to stick it in the right place on the website so that you've got a professionally arranged website that actually speaks to your client. Now we're going to go into the ambiance or the essence or some deeper methods of communication through that. So if you always keep the attention of on your visitor, not your product. It isn't about your product. It's about the end result. It's about their desires. It's about their suffering. It's about their symptoms. It's about their journey. So where they are and where they want to be and closing the gap in between, sailing from Pain Island to Pleasure Island. You keep your attention on them and their problem. Don't make it look like you're looking in a mirror. You're looking in the mirror. Make it look like the client is looking in the mirror. They're seeing themselves and their pain and their suffering there, and then they can see who's figuring, like they can make that connection with you. Okay? If you want to make it interesting, don't use boring words such as nice, miscellaneous, subscribe, click here. Like these are overused, they're numb, they're boring. They don't really give any compelling energy, right? They don't compel them. You want to use power words like massive, thrilling, exciting, explosive, right? You want to use power words. It's important, right? You're triggering emotional responses there, right? It's important. You're communicating to children. The child inside is the real buyer. The child inside, if the child wants it, you've seen one of the kids, they really, really want it, and they buckle down, they want it, 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 they want it. They know their birthday is coming 3 months ahead of time. For 3 months, you've heard the same thing. Every single day, 4 times a day, 9 times a day, man, they never shut up about that. Listen, I had 2 times a year that I was able to get something kind of like fancy. I knew when my birthday was, and I knew when Christmas was. And I knew exactly which big Lego box set I was going to get. I knew the pattern. Never shut up about it. Sure enough, such and such a time, birthday comes, the box, it's got that shape, tear it open. They're tired of hearing about it. Okay, so you're speaking to the inner child, right? So you want to make it, use language that actually touches that inner child and gets them into it. You want to write with a 6th grade vocabulary. I've kind of, there's times in my career where I've fallen off the simplicity wagon and I start getting into using all this sophisticated language, the scientific descriptions and stuff. I think I do it more for entertainment, for my own sake, but I can't expect people to actually become my customers when they feel that I am got a PhD and they got a 6th grade education. Okay? That's where your authority is way off the charts, and humanity, and like this, like not being sensitive to their inner child. So to write with a 6th grade vocabulary. This is why I'm cartoonifying all these worksheets. Like I'm basically designing this program so a smart middle school kid could basically create a 7-figure business. Doesn't matter what you put in these worksheets, it's going to work. And if a kid can do it, then we've got something. So the point being is, just using a 6th grade vocabulary means that you're meeting people on their ground. You're not using obscure words. So avoid using obscure and technical words. Keep it super simple. Not going to happen. Not right now. Sorry. Avoid adjectives. Using adjectives, right? Avoid using adjectives, which means descriptive adjectives. Stick to nouns. Right? So, writing for the way, and we were at avoiding adjectives. Those descriptive adjectives, right?
Right.
Adjectives to describe your nouns, right? All like trying to fluff them up. It kicks off the visitor's bullshit meter, pardon my language, but your BS meter. Everybody has an internal BS meter, and when they feel that somebody's being hyped up, that's when their BS meter goes off.
3 easy steps.
And they, well,
That's the
simple, easy. I'm talking about the descriptive adjectives. Gosh, I don't try not to use them. So,
it's better to have a crisis than a severe problem.
okay, severe problem. We're quoting Marisa Murgatroyd. We just watched this stuff on her thing last night. So okay, and her program, her website, the weekend, which is more like website in a couple of months. She says that a crisis is always better than a severe problem. Severe problem, you're using severe as the descriptive adjective to describe the problem. It's a problem. A severe problem is 2 words, one with a descriptive adjective, but replacing severe problem with crisis, right, is getting more to the point, and it doesn't affect the BS meter as much. Crisis is a crisis. People know what a crisis is. Severe problem, I think it's a little bit more flexible.
Severe problem denotes something ongoing, whereas crisis is a momentary power.
Like right here, right now. Momentary pow. It's a more power word. Crisis is a power word. Problem is not so much of a power word. And severe is just a descriptive adjective.
Sounds like drama.
Right? Right, it sounds like drama. But a crisis is something you got to deal with right now.
Right.
Okay? So by getting specific about the way you're using words, okay, it's a little bit more technical, but she's saying this is important, okay? Because you're going to create copy that is just really gets to them, it speaks to them. Okay, you want to limit your paragraphs to one simple point. Each paragraph, one simple point, and preferably one sentence per paragraph if you can pull that up. You can use a conjunction and in there, but you want to, and you could maybe connect two sentences so it turns into one sentence. You still want one simple point in that paragraph. Okay. Back to our theme of the day. Don't expect your visitors to want to read Pink Floyd's The Wall of text on your page. Has ever come to one of those pages and it looks like this just brick wall, and you start going into like Pink Floyd mode. Is there anybody in there, out there, right? So there's anybody out there? Like, I can't read this. I don't have time for this wall of text. It just goes on and on and on, like a 2-album, like Pink Floyd's The Wall. It's like 2 records, man. The thing, like, and it's got that mood to it, like comfortably numb.
Same thing with Facebook posts. If people you hit read more, and if it goes, I go,
Yeah,
gone,
I'm not gonna read
gone.
more. It's
And
too much.
there's certain people I
Who's
have
got
that are
time
friends
to
that are like,
read a wall of text?
and they always do posts like that.
Okay, now here's the other thing with the wall of text. It's all small, and you're moving your head back and forth across this wall of text. And if you have to go this way and then come back, which line was I reading? Which line was I reading? Forget this. It's not going to happen. People they're going to go numb on a wall of text. So just don't even go there. Don't go there. If you've got an article, break it up to paragraphs. And what you do is people seldom read paragraphs, all right? So you're going to write for scanners. People scan pages. So you want to mix up your copy so it's interesting to the eye, okay? You're going to break up paragraphs with headlines and frame every paragraph with a buffer of negative space, right? So it's like a rung ladder of negative space that they could traverse. And we want to put headline, paragraph, maybe another paragraph, maybe like headline, paragraph, bullet points. Headline, paragraph, bullet points.
How does this tie in with our blogging as well? Because obviously when you're blogging, you start to...
Same difference. Just break the paragraphs up with white space.
Okay.
If you're going to write a blog article, break the paragraphs up with white space. Block in a photograph every third paragraph. You can change the width and sizes of the paragraphs. Like when you start putting space in between the headlines and the paragraphs, you start breaking it up, right? It starts becoming more interesting to read, and people are going to. And for scanners, I'm going to show you a trick for scanners that works really, really well. It just dawned on me. It's just amazing, right? I'll tell you about that in a second. So I'm going to break up paragraphs with headlines and frame every paragraph with a buffer of white space around it. A 3/4 inch buffer of white space, then another paragraph. This is so your eyes don't get tired. And then you don't ever want to make it all the way across the page. You want columns that are scannable. This is why newspapers do this. This is why magazines do this. Because if you read too far like this, if you had to turn your head, then you can't find the beginning of the sentence on the rebound. You have to be it so that you can just move your eyes. If you have to move your head, you're going to lose track of where you were, and then people get busy when they're reading. Because you're spinning your head like this, back and forth, right?
You said, break up paragraphs with headlines? Is that what you
With
said?
headlines, and frame every paragraph with a buffer of negative space. Okay. You have to be conversational. And I want to give thanks to Marissa Murgatroyd because this is, I'm pretty much just going down her formula. Right? I'm not making this up. I'm explaining it to you. But these are points we just watched on her video last night. So I don't want to take claim for all this structure, but I'm here to help you understand this stuff. So be conversational, be yourself. Okay? Tell your story. Keep it real. Okay? Let people identify with you on a real, genuine level. Their subconscious mind is going to feel what you're saying. Okay? Now we're going to get into these scanning tricks. Okay? So all the textbooks are saying they're just reading the headlines. Take the headlines and you take those headlines and you use those headlines to make a message. This headline is the intro message, the next headline is the next part of the message, the next headlines, and you basically, as if you were writing with only headlines and some gray stuff in the middle. So you tell your story through the headlines. So if they're scanning the page, they still get the point. And if they go into the paragraph, which if your headlines tell a good story, they'll go back to the top and they'll start reading the paragraph. Then what you want to use is when you use bold letters and certain colors to add emphasis to power words and calls to action. Okay.
Bold letters and different colors.
And different specific colors that evoke emotions. Which color? Okay, I'm going to go into that. Okay, you want to look into it, do a little homework, see how colors make you feel. Okay, and you add emphasis to power words in the sentence. And I'm going to tell you a little trick on this. Okay, so look into it. Navy tends, like if you got black text, black is authority. It's in black and white. You read it in black and white. Okay, but to emphasize certain words in navy tends to imply kind of a political correctness, institutional authority. The navy, color navy, dark blue, right? It seems like social correctness, like it's accepted. It's not just coming down from the top, but everybody accepts it. That's why Facebook is navy. Right? And CC2525 red. Okay, CC2525, write it down, CC2525. It's a very specific red out of 250 million colors that they've got on the web. CC2525 is the color that's on that Coca-Cola machine. Coca-Cola, Dairy Queen, McDonald's. They all use a very well-researched red called CC2525. CC2525 is the hexadecimal code for the red that is the blood color. Taste blood. Primal, primitive. Blood ketchup. There's a red and there's a yellow, right? And when you put red and yellow together, you all of a sudden want to buy a hamburger.
It sort of implies junk food and early death.
Well, junk food and early death is one of the results that come from the industry using these primal colors to sell their stuff.
Happiness is the desired outcome.
They notice that people respond. These are the color of lust, right? The tiger wants the blood. It's going to go and hunt it down.
But red also is used in restaurants because it also promotes meditative state. So while you're sitting there feasting, you're not realizing how much you eat.
So these things,
That's what they
all kinds of implications to this. It also can be used to represent danger, Will Robinson, danger. Okay? Sometimes you can use red to represent look out. It's just dangerous. But on the other end, you can use red for your call now button. Right? Because it's your call to action. Right? Because it pops and it's the thing that the eye goes to the red. And it's based on bloodlust, really.
I wouldn't do that because it's also the color of the stop sign.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Red is the color. I'm sorry, CC2525 has the highest conversion ratio in all of marketing history. I mean, CC2525 is what tigers hunt down. Once they tear that zebra open, it's CC2525 red all over the place.
Oh, God.
It's just primal.
Can I add
And
to
they
that?
figured out that hexadecimal CC2525 is the red that actually gets the highest conversion ratio on the web.
Can I add to that?
Excuse me, what is it?
You'll notice even when you fuel up your vehicle at the gas stations, the unleaded that for the consumer, for just the average person, the price is in red, wanting, get it now, get it now. Then for the truck driver, their price is in green, making them think that they are saving money, even though they're fueling large amounts.
There's a reason that on those road highway signs that the
Ours is in
the
red
gas
and
price is
theirs is in
red.
green.
that the regular gas price is red and the diesel gas price is green. It's that there's psychological implications. All of this stuff has all been well researched out. They've paid millions and billions of dollars in research that we don't have to pay. All we got to do is recognize that there's some findings that they found and they're using them, and we can also use those too. And we don't have to sell people, greasy burgers. We can help people save on the phone bill. Okay? But it use the same triggers. Okay? Now, there's my little secret to really having a web page speak to you, and I want to share this with you. And I'll also share with you how I learned about it. And I'll give you that resource. Okay. So, who's heard of an acrostic? Can you tell me what an acrostic is, Lawrence?
Well, in poetry, it's like something that looks like something like visually. You could do a poem in the shape of a fish or something. But each letter stands for something.
Each letter stands for something.
Yeah, but
Okay.
in poetry, you can
They say that the Bible, if you take the first letter of every verse or something, I don't know. Some people got really, really into it. And they take that first letter of every verse and it spells something. Right? Some people really get into this math. They look into it, right? And so if you take into consideration people are scanning the page, and if you make a message out of the headlines, like you're talking to them sentence by sentence with the headlines, and then they go back and they read the page and they start scanning more deeply. You're already talking to scanners, and you make certain words pop out of the paragraph. If you spell a sentence with those words, they can scan the page and completely get the message without reading the paragraphs. This is really, really neat when you start playing around with this. You structure it this way. You say a message with the paragraphs, and then you pop certain words out in the sentence inside the paragraph, and you put them bold, and change the colors, then the eye is automatically going to read that flow of words, and if you make a message, they get it again, and it goes deeper. Then if they go and they read the actual paragraph, they already know what they're reading. In a sense, it's subliminal, but they're intentionally scanning. So if they're just scanning the page, you might as well talk to them at the speed they're scanning. It's not exactly subliminal. It's more like liminal. It's not. It's there, and making it so that when they're scanning the page, they're actually reading the sentence across the paragraph.
When people read fast, actually comprehend more.
Yeah, and you're just helping them. You're just assisting them in understanding the page better. In other words, they get the impression, wow, I'm really feeling this. This web page is really talking to me. How did I just scan that page and learn everything about their program just by scanning the page? And when you communicate at this level, these people are moving so fast on their mobile devices, you communicate at this level, they're going to stick with you. This is an actual experientification of your package where like they're going to have brain chemistry changes, and when they start having brain chemistry changes, they're going to want to continue to stick with that program. They're going to say, this is giving me good vibes. I'm getting good vibes from this site. I'm feeling this message. I'm feeling this provider. I feel like I want to go with this provider. Okay. That's my special trick that I've learned over the years and kind of played around with it. Now, how I learned about this stuff, I'm going to tell you the last point here, okay? And then I'll tell you, give you a resource. End everything in marketing copy with a strong call to action. Don't waste their time with some blah, 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 and nothing to do, nothing to buy, nowhere to go, no solution or nothing. A call to action can be as simple as a piece of marketing on social media saying RSVP for a class, a free class, or call now for a complimentary strategy session, you know, or call now to have your chip repaired today for a same-day special, or sign up for this webinar, which could be a training and sales webinar.
One of the next 100 colors.
Yeah, you're the ninth caller, right? There's a call to action. Ninth caller gets a dead ticket. Dead ticket to the dead show. Okay. Always end your marketing copy with a strong call to action, so that all of this is actually directed them to come to the conclusion that they want to take that call to action and take advantage of the opportunity you're providing for them. You're helping them make an informed decision, but deciding to do what, or at the very least, call you, enter the conversation personally, so that they can go to the next step and they can continue on this transformational journey and ultimately get that end result that they're looking for and the desired outcome. Is there any questions on that? Okay. So the next thing I want to share with you is where I got this. And this is really, really neato because this goes way back. Okay. So all these modern transformational marketing techniques that are very, very powerful and are working in this modern age. But some of the things that like marketing and psychology, we've got hundreds of years of data, especially the last 100 years since the printing press, the newspapers, and all that stuff. There's the things that cause people to make decisions and buy are consistent. They've been used in newspapers 100 years ago. They still work today. So I came across some resources before even social networks, before website building systems, back in the day when we built web pages and websites with HTML code. We're actually writing code and it shows up on the browser looking like a website, writing code and showing up in the browser. We built the whole vegetarian rescue website by writing code, scripts. You know, it's easy now. Back in the day, you had to write code to do it. But in those days, was like 2001, I started doing my homework, and I came across some marketing experts that had quit the big corporate industries, and they actually had retained the millions of dollars worth of marketing knowledge, and they were repackaging it for the entrepreneurs. So I found a consortium of providers, group of providers, teams that were teaching this stuff, and they had all these resources, and they would trickle them to me, and it was most of the resources were priced at $27. And so I budgeted $27 a month, and I got one, and then I got another one, and I got another one, and I got another one, and over I happened to have preserved these assets from 20 years ago that are spot on. It's along the lines of what Lawrence is teaching. He's teaching guerrilla marketing, which is based on a book that was written. When was guerrilla marketing written?
Early 80s.
In the early 80s. So this goes way back. Jay Levinson, and he was one of the first. Like, don't spend a lot of money on your advertising. There's all these other ways that you can bring attention to your business. Okay, he worked with. Who did he work with? Who did Jay Levinson help do it? Did you do Steve Jobs and all those guys?
Yeah, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Michael Dell.
Okay, so all these companies that they got big, they actually started out with like guerrilla marketing strategies. Okay, out of that book, Jay Levinson helped them. So this is old school in the transition between corporate and modern entrepreneur. So I got a hold of these resources, and I want to share them with you because, like, they're I don't even know if these people are around anymore. I know they don't sell these packages anymore. But some old ebooks. There's a set called "Make Your Words Sell," and another one called "Make Your Site Sell." And we want to make those available to you. So there's a link.
There's links on the page.
There's links on the web page, which the actual page for this.
Yes, the training page.
The training page. So you go, you download this book. They're an ebook, they're 250 pages, but it's well worth scanning because they're written with this bold method. And they tell you how to do this stuff, how to write for the web. And it doesn't really change. It's standard communication in a way that's going to connect with your people. These resources will tell you how to actually communicate through writing, right? Make your word sell, make your site sell. You can download them, PDFs off of the site. Well worth getting into your library and really digging in and checking out. Their info products and our experience will just jump in, scan this stuff, see what they're talking about. Understand the language and get in there, download these and check them out. They're really neat resources because this is long before WordPress. This is long before any of this modern stuff. It's before social media. It's been back in the incubator days when this was just getting started. So it's not complicated like, oh, you go to Facebook this and you go to Twitter that, you go to Instagram. There's none of that. It's totally clean from all this modern social media stuff. So it's easier to identify with. Very, very helpful information. So that's my section on writing for the web. Anybody questions? Okay. You guys get stuck, give me a call. I'll explain it to you, or we'll do a consultation. And then, of course, in the workshop on Monday, we'll package some stuff.
Yeah, do you have the ebook or I think it's
They're ebook downloads. Okay, you go to the page at the website. At our website, he'll send an email, and the link will be in the email.
On Wednesdays, the email will come up, and that link will have these downloads.
Yeah, you go to the page, and they're there. You can download them. All right, then. That's essentially the two sections for this class today. If you don't have any more questions, any announcements, anything anybody want to share? Thanks for coming.